You have no music.
That's like the
We're here.
default music.
The deep end.
It sounds sketchy when you say that.
Blue Waters. Guy and Shannon coming at you now from New York. It's the deep end. Okay, that's
All right, it's episode 2.
Okay. We are talking about roles in a relationship. What our roles are, what our roles were in our prior marriages, because we had very different, we were both married before this marriage. This is both of our second marriages, if you guys didn't know that, which is crazy. And our first marriages, do you want me to talk about mine first and then you talk about yours? Because yours is not as exciting.
No, mine was not very exciting. It was very short. So I don't have, I didn't have any kids. I didn't have anything that you did. So, sure, you could speak on it.
Okay, so I'll talk about my marriage first and my role in that marriage. I will not go into crazy detail because that is three of my children's father. So I'm going to be as polite as possible. But I was married at a very young age. I met him when I was 17. It was a bit of an arranged marriage. I can't go down that rabbit hole. But
sounds like a Ladies Drink Free episode.
It is. It was a bit of an arranged marriage. We were in a very, very strict Christian church. If you know, you know. If you were brought up like that, then you know. He was not. So it was kind of arranged. I was 17. The pastor of the church was like, hey, this guy should be for you. Let's get you two together. And we did. He was 27, and I was 17. So, yeah, that was interesting. So I got married at about, I think I was 19 or 20. He was 10 years older than me. And both of us came from a Christian background that the husband is the head of the household. And that's where the roles in my marriage. He was the head of the household. I stayed home, had children, and cleaned the house and cooked. And that was my whole life. Not that I love my children so much, but within those roles, I lost myself. It was a controlling marriage. I won't say anything. I don't want to say anything else. 10, 12 years later, I woke up one day and realized I do not want this role in a marriage. I want an equal role in a marriage, and left the marriage. That's a whole long story. I was a single mom for years with 3 children, working 3 jobs. It was the hardest time in my entire life. But yes, I know you guys never heard this story. A lot of you haven't heard that story. I keep it. They haven't. I don't say it often, but because of that marriage, my roles in a relationship were pretty much fucked up.
Whoa.
So I came into the relationship with Guy with a lot of baggage. I came out of a marriage where the roles were dominant and I was to be serving to that. So when I went into a relationship with Guy, I was very afraid to lose any control because I finally gained control of my life and I was afraid to lose control. So we'll go into our roles with Guy. It's so funny because just recently through therapy and really working on ourselves, our roles have changed a little bit. Because you know what I'm saying? How you were like fixer, and I have opened up more, and we'll go into that.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to fix everything.
We'll go into that. So Guy will talk about his roles in his marriage, and then we'll tell you guys how we came together and what our roles were when we came together.
So yeah, my marriage was much different, and certainly I don't. If this ever gets out there, I hold no ill will towards my ex whatsoever. I just think, like most of you guys have heard me say before, we weren't. I I should have never got married. Maybe my ex, maybe she was ready to be married. I clearly was not. I didn't understand what marriage was. In my mind, I was still an immature kid.
Well, she was your high school sweetheart. Well, okay, you
Yeah,
dated her in
we
high
dated
school.
her. I dated her in high school. But no, the reality is I never should have got married, and unfortunately, I think I probably instead of learning more about sort of roles in the sense that you maybe did, I think I learned more about myself. Um, you know, like I said, I was still a kid. I was.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 22, I think, 23. I just graduated college. I think it was that same year, and but yeah, there's just not too much to say. I realized that it certainly wasn't for me. She wasn't the right person for me, and then likewise, I would definitely think that I was not the right person for her. So no ill will there. If anything, I mean, I hope she's living a long, happy life now. But like I said, I learned more about myself, and the biggest thing that I took away was to not settle. I felt, and I don't know if that's
But
learning
do you
about
feel like in your
myself or
first marriage you were just a pleaser? What was your role in your first
I
marriage?
just didn't want to get in a fight. I mean, I still don't want to fight. Jeez, I don't know who likes to fight,
But it's because you weren't in love with her.
yeah. So, but the fact of it is though that we actually didn't fight much because I almost because we didn't have the I'll say. And I can
Passion?
only speak for me. Yeah, like we didn't have the passion. Or I wasn't really in love with her. I just assumed that everybody felt that way. You see it on TV. It's like, oh, everyone's miserable. They get married. Oh, the old ball and chain. Like I just like, all right, well, that's what's happening. And then, but because of that, I actually really, I'm trying to think back. Like I really couldn't get too upset or mad because, there wasn't a strong enough emotional connection. I feel like you really have to be emotionally connected to somebody to get really truly angry with them. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sort of talking in a circle,
Well,
but
we just wanted to know your role.
so I mean, it was very. I felt like we led independent lives.
Okay.
Like we had our own friends. We had our own interest. We didn't share any interest really.
Okay.
We were, we traveled, and I think I said this on the last episode, like you learn a lot when you travel with somebody. I didn't enjoy traveling with her. At no point did it feel like we were friends or that I would want to hang out with at the time was my wife. That's a red flag. For any of you out there that don't want to hang out with your spouse, I don't want to say it's a red flag, but like you should want to hang out with your spouse. I just,
Coexisting, yes.
yeah, it was just like I had my own, goals and objectives, and it really had nothing to do with her. It was very independent. Yes, exactly. So I think before, for whatever reason, I realized that before it got too far, before we expanded our family, brought children into the world, one, I needed to be a different person, and I probably wasn't self-aware enough at the time to realize that. But what I did know is that is one thing that really changes things. And so I had to make a change before I made that sort of next step in my own life. And that, like I said, not a lot there. I mean, we were married for maybe 2 years. I really don't remember. I apologize.
I
for
said
that.
to him a few days ago, like, talk about your first marriage. He's like, I don't remember it.
Yeah. I just don't. I mean, I remember the funny thing, and this is going to sound so weird. I remember my house more than my marriage. And because it was such a, now I'm again getting off track, but like,
Yeah.
I bought a fixer, right? I bought a fixer upper, and I spent so much time and effort. It was such a pivotal part of my life. That's what I remember. I don't remember the actual marriage.
Do you remember our marriage?
You're sitting right next to
Okay, just
me.
making sure. I'm just questioning you. So, when Guy and I got together, he came from not really caring about his marriage to me not wanting to lose control in my marriage because I was terrified of where I was. So would you say when you met me, and I mean, did you know then, you know now, that I was a very independent woman?
Did I know that you were an independent woman?
I mean, strong, independent woman, like I am now.
I don't think you've ever asked me this question.
It's not a hard question.
No. No, I mean, I knew you were independent, but I'm trying to think like what, if I look back at the time, I saw you as more of a mom than a wife. Like
Okay.
looking back, like when I first met you, like that's what stuck out as like you being a mom. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
like, I don't know if that really answers the
Well,
question.
I'm trying to get that to get to the one thing I loved about Guy, and we're talking about roles, is that I know from the beginning I was very, I don't want to say controlling in a bad way. Like you can't control Guy, trust me.
I can't control me.
You can't control him. He does whatever he wants, and he doesn't care the consequences.
That's not true at all. That's such nonsense.
It's true. It's true. So anyway, that's not what I mean.
No.
What I mean
We'll cover
is
that at some point.
I was, when I entered a relationship, I was so scared of losing control. I might have been overly controlling, but not in a way of like controlling him, but controlling the relationship. Because I was so afraid of losing control because I had no control in my first marriage. And I was very independent. I came from single mom with 3 kids. I had 3 jobs, very independent. I was very dependent on my first husband because that's how he made the marriage. So coming out of that, my independence like increased insane. But what I loved about Guy is that he's one of the few men that I have met that was not intimidated by my independence.
Thank you, guys. I don't know who that is. Where is that studio audience? Yeah, no, I did not feel that you were damsel in distress when I met you. That was not a thing. It wasn't like, oh yeah, look at this little weak woman, I'll save her. No, that was not
But I'm
it
saying
at all.
even you are not like, even now, we started a business and all this stuff. I'm trying, like, I'm just a big personality, not in a talking way because I don't talk much, but I'm a big independent, you know what I'm saying? And he was never once intimidated by that.
No.
I've had men in my life, I will not say wow or who or when, that have been extremely intimidated by that. And I believe now, knowing now, they were just insecure. And if a man is insecure in themselves, they cannot handle a strong, independent woman. Guy is not insecure in any way, although, I mean, he has insecurities. But as a man, he's very secure in himself. So he has no problem. If I need to take the lead or whatever, it doesn't bother him at all.
Yeah, you've done all the talking on this episode.
There you go.
Already.
Say. It really doesn't bother him because he's secure in myself. He doesn't feel like I'm being controlled by him. Although, really, seriously, he cannot be controlled. There's no control.
I will say, but also probably as a product of how we met, in that we had already started some portion of our lives. We were at different stages, clearly. You were a parent. I was not. I think it was, and this is where, and I've spoken this before, it's very difficult, I think, to sort of grow and develop the same age for people that get married young. And shout out and props to anybody who has done that, right? Because you think about it, you develop so much, and I've said this before, I'm so much different at what will be next week, 45 years old, than I was at 25.
I knew nothing at 20 years old that I know now.
Right.
I don't know how people get married at 20 and stay married.
And because you're hoping that, or you're relying on both sort of growing and maturing at the same age. And when you meet somebody at 25 and they're, you align with them and, oh, this is who I want to spend my life with. Well,
you have to grow at the same time.
Yeah, or at least if you grow in different speeds and different directions, you at least meet up back at some point later in time so that you can sort of reconnect. So anyway, getting to the point, it was, Shan and I were both capable and living
by ourselves.
Just had our own lives. So
very independent lives.
Yes.
We both were very independent.
Yeah. And so we both already had careers. Shan had a family. I didn't even know if I wanted a family, but would have been fine either way. So when we met, it was less about, okay, let's grow together. And now I'm saying this, kind of speaking out of two sides of my mouth, because we still, we've still both grown so much. I mean, we married what will be 15 years.
We've had some rough.
Sure.
We've had some rough arguments.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, real world stuff creeps in. It's always life that kind of gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
But because, all right. So going back, what I'm saying is, while we didn't have to worry about sort of growing or as much because we had already had our, independent lives, it was actually meeting and realizing or hoping that two independent lives can live then and create one. And I think if anything, that's been sort of our biggest challenge, right? It's sort of because we're both independent. We both, and I used to say this to Shannon all the time. Like, I feel like you could live on your own and be completely fine.
Well, we should talk about that because now you don't feel like that anymore, right?
No, I mean, she needs me. Guys, it is crazy. She can't do anything without me now. I mean.
Hold on. Get a grip. We'll talk about that later. We've come to an epiphany in our marriage. It's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
But he's always felt our main issue in our marriage was us being too independent. Believe it or not. I know all you guys see love and passion, and that is what keeps us. We have so much love for each other. It's disgusting. I don't want to go into it, but we are really, truly in love with each other. And we have a lot of sexual passion. So I'm just going to say it. Who cares? This is a podcast. A lot of sexual passion. We are really good in that area. So, but what we have.
I hope my parents are watching.
Well, what we have learned over the years is that because we are so independent, that was a negative for our marriage. We would drift apart sometimes because we were so independent and so strong that we were almost afraid to rely on each other. And that is do you feel like that was the biggest problem?
Yeah,
in our marriage.
Well, I think also because when we would, like, everybody has problems. I'm not saying anyone's are bigger than anyone else's or any problem is different than another, but everybody has problems. So I think our issue was that we would come across just a real life problem, whatever it is, business, family, kids, anything, who knows, illness, whatever it could be. Right. And because we were capable of operating independently and came from an independent space prior, we weren't necessarily facing things as a team or you know what I mean? Like, we always complemented each other. And I've said this forever. I think we're a very good yin and yang, but it's only a yin and yang if you're actually together and trying to accomplish a task together, if that makes sense. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the business actually made it even worse.
Yeah.
The business made that independence even worse. Because even though we work together every day, we're in each other's faces 24/7. And honestly, I know seriously, people say this all the time. They don't understand. And that's another whole podcast. We might do that with Brian and Angie. Working together. We actually do that very well. Believe it or not. I know a lot of you guys, I could never work with my spouse. I enjoy working with him. Anyway, I think the business actually increased that independence on us because we had different roles in the business. So that separated us even more. Yeah. So the business / independence gave us some rough, I don't want to say rough times. We never were rough times, but some arguments that were big arguments. There would be times that we wouldn't talk for a few days. Okay, I'm sorry. I wouldn't talk to him for a few days Guy wants to talk immediately. Guy wants to talk immediately. He never is, give me a few days, give me time. He's like, I need to fix this now. And that is his main role in a marriage, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Don't say fucking.
He needs to fix everything immediately. It drives me nuts.
Life is too short to be.
I'm like,
okay.
I am not talking to you. You need to give me 5 minutes. You don't need to fix this now. And then it's like, well, how are you going to fix it? It's like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Which drives me more crazy.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
Anyway, we have just resolved this in our marriage, that he doesn't have to be the fixer all the time.
It's a work in progress. I mean,
You've been so much better.
Yeah.
Because when I have an issue, he's not, instead of him saying, I'll figure it out. Well, what the hell are you going to do? I would like to be part of this. He says, okay, how does it make you feel? How can we work on this together? This would be our plan 1. And that's just recently, because we've done a lot of work on our marriage recently, since like changing up the business, which we had to do for our family. And it's improved our family and our marriage and everything. And that was something that we've been working on, about him just always saying, I'll take care of it. Because it pissed me off.
But now, and again, going back from to now bring this full circle, been
married 50 years and they've never gone to bed mad. Somebody just said.
That's amazing.
That would be my husband.
No.
He doesn't want to go to bed mad.
Who the hell wants to go to bed mad? Well, there's something wrong with your brain. Okay? No one should want that. No, but what I was saying is, because I was always independent, it was, whether it's, my first marriage or even when I was younger, like this came up the other day in a conversation when I was a kid, my parents helped me with stuff, but I kind of just dealt with everything on my own. And I'm not sure why. I mean, both my parents were, and this, nothing to do with my parents really, but I'm saying it's just kind of how I evolved as a person.
That's how I was. I did everything on my own too.
And it was like,
even as a kid.
Right. So that was just kind of how we did everything. And then when we came together, we had problems. And it was like, and half the time it would be, we were working on the same problem independently, solving it our own way, zero communication whatsoever, about sort of the plan of attack, whatever it may be. And it created problems, a lot of wasted effort too.
And I would go into freeze mode. Where I could not talk. Once somebody hurt me, I couldn't talk. Literally freeze mode. This is something we're also worked on. I'm much better at it. That's amazing. Married at 19 and still madly in love. Kudos to you. That's fabulous.
Well, she's only 20 though. So
so I would go into freeze mode and not communicate. And I would need a few days. Awesome. And then every day would just get easier not to talk to him. And we go into 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and it would just get easier and easier. And he is one that he does not want to go to bed angry. And he always has to kiss me goodnight every night. Won't go to bed angry, has to kiss me goodnight. Oh,
terrible. How could you live like that?
I didn't say it was horrible.
Oh my goodness.
I said I was not like that until recently. I'm much better now.
Yeah.
Anyway, because of trauma from my first marriage, it took me many, many, many years. It was, he went into fixer mode, which isn't always good. I know we think it's a good thing, but it's not always good because you need to talk about it. Like we need to fix it together. So he goes into fixer mode. I go into freeze trauma mode. Can you imagine what that creates? Not a very good atmosphere. And that's what would happen. And we would have these every so often, these big blowout arguments. And then he would say one stupid thing because as wonderful he is, he does say dumb things.
Stream of consciousness, I like to call it.
Although you're good now. He's like, I'm not going to talk. Because he just keeps talking and talking, and then stupid things come out of his mouth, and then I get hurt, and then I don't talk to him for 4 days.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, actually, because I could say, I said if I talk for 100 hours, 1% of that is going to be something dumb, right? And that's still a pretty damn good.
You think only 1%?
Well, I'm just saying, my point is, it's like I don't get a lot of room for error. So which is kind of funny. But yeah, no, I really do try to say less.
You have been better. No, you're just saying things that are more meaningful. We're both working on ourselves.
Yeah, no,
We are. We're working on ourselves.
I think it's critical.
It
Especially as
is.
you get
Well,
older.
we got to a point, I've spoken about this on the app where, I kind of have a little bit of a mental breakdown in the business. There was a lot going on. I had to change things up for my own mental health, for our marriage, for our family. We changed for the economy, everything. So we changed up the business. And within doing that, we had to change up us. And we realized when this all happened that we're living two independent lives. We're madly in love, but we're living two independent lives. And that's when we started working on it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. I mean, you realize, and it's easy to lose sight of it, I think, when especially no matter what you do, even if you have two independent careers, if you happen to be in business together, if, one person's a stay-at-home parent, the other person's at work, there's so much going on in your life. And I'm not saying anything earth-shattering here, but life goes by so quickly. But then if you stop and think about it, 5 years can go by. And I think this was kind of our issue, right? Like, 5 years can go by and you haven't worked on yourself or improved yourself. I mean, yeah, okay, we try to eat healthy, do some exercise, but then you start focusing on the kids and okay, you want your kid to grow up and be a great person and have self-confidence and be a positive force in the world. But you lose sight that you can't just mail it in from like 35 to 90, right? You still have to develop as a person. And I think that's kind of, especially because we were hyper-focused on the business, on our family,
So
on the
we
kids,
didn't realize,
right? Like,
yeah.
you had a lot going on with Joe.
I had a lot going on with Joe.
I mean, G was in a critical part of his life, right? When you're a young teenager or preteen, there's a lot going on, and it's you can't mess around anymore as a parent. Like, you want your kids to be ready to go off into the world. So, we ended up losing sight. Not that we ever lost sight. I don't think we ever really took our marriage for granted.
No, we don't take each other for granted. Definitely not.
It's really freaking hard to find your soulmate. My goodness.
Yeah. And we always believed we were soulmates. Always, like, even when we got in those really bad arguments, we were always like, well, we're not leaving each other. That's not happening. We love each other. But the arguments were, because, like, we haven't had one of those, like, big arguments in a while.
Oh, jeez. What?
We haven't. Yeah. Because we really have been working on ourselves. And coming together, less independent, more dependent on each other. And I always thought, and this came up a few months ago, I've recently changed because of my first marriage, because I had no choice, but I had to be dependent on my first husband. That's how he created the marriage. Everything was dependent on him. Everything I did had to be dependent on him. I don't want to go into details, but everything was dependent on him. I was so scared of being dependent on someone that it felt like a weakness to me. That if I was dependent on Guy or needed Guy, that I felt I had to need him, I would completely shut down because that means I was weak and I would put a wall up. And because of that happening, Guy thought, this is craziness that this happened. Still, I mean, we're getting really vulnerable now, but we have to say it.
Okay.
Guy would always think that if he died, and I didn't even know he thought this, that I would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, listen, okay. When you say it like that, it sounds completely crazy. What I meant was, like, yes, she'd be sad.
And I would tell him, like, Guy, I would be devastated. He's like, no, you're not. You'd be fine. And the fact that he felt that way means that I screwed up somewhere.
Well, no. So, and again, going back and not to harp on the issue, but just to give a little more clarity and backstory to what I was saying, it was like I could sense that we were both very independent, and I could, in my opinion then, it was like, okay, I know she loves me. I know she'd be sad, God, for something happened to me. But I feel like, after a few days, she'd be back on the grind. All right, what do we got to do? Got to go live. She's got to get to school. It would just be
After a few days.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please tell them how you feel now?
no. So then, and that was part of this whole like learning process where it was like, I don't think necessarily that the feeling was any different in the sense that like the reality was you probably, that wasn't ever the case, but it was how it was being communicated,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
and how we were carrying ourselves, and I think, or why is that the screen like that where it's like chopped off? Did you zoom it in or something? Why is my head chopped off on there, guys?
What are you talking about?
Look. That does not look. Oh, okay. It was just the whole top of the podcast chopped off. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. No. So just saying it was really. It comes down to what we think and what we feel isn't necessarily what
The person
we're
feels.
pushing out, and then what is being received by our spouse, partner, or significant other, or anybody for that matter. Just because you think something doesn't mean that whoever is with you feels or understands what you're thinking.
But he felt that way for a reason. Like, because I was so afraid to lean on him, rely on him, or need him, that meant I was weak. So he didn't know that. That's just something, I didn't even know that, to be honest. I didn't even know that till I really kind of started working on myself. But that feeling that I was portraying made him feel like, well, she's super independent. So if I died, she'd be okay for a few days and then she'd be fine. And then we had a really big argument one day. I've been working on myself. And I broke down. I don't remember what we were talking about. And I literally told him, I said, I am starting to feel like I need you, and it's scaring the hell out of me. Because now I'm starting to feel that, because I'm working on myself, I'm starting to feel like I do need him. Even saying it now, I'm like, ugh, I'm weak. But it's not weakness, it's strength. And I'm like, okay, I do need my husband. I do need my husband. And then we had this conversation, and I don't know what I said. And you said to me, okay, I actually know that you would be devastated if I died.
Yeah. No, I mean, it
How many years later is this?
Sounds
15
dumb.
years
It's 15,
later?
almost 15 years.
Almost 15 years later.
Yeah. And then the other thing is.
Correct, Lips. Yeah, that's correct.
To that point.
It was survival mode. That's
right.
exactly what it was.
But I think the other thing that sort of flipped things for us a little bit is realizing that, like, saying you need somebody, or when you hear that, like, it's not the same for everybody, right? So, even if you're perfectly capable of living independently and being on your own, right? There's always gaps in yourself or things that you
and I don't mean need as in like, oh, I need him to survive. Like, I can do things myself independently. I mean, emotionally, I need him.
I don't know if I've ever seen her take out the trash, but I mean,
excuse me, I used to take out the trash all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if she
in
knows
the other
what
house.
garbage
Yes, I
cans
did.
are.
I took it out at 8 o'clock. I had an alarm in my.
Okay.
That's your one job.
Oh my God! Here we go. No, so like for example,
Yes,
I
somebody
like to
said
think,
you need him, but it's not to save you; it's to share life together.
Right, and we've said, like, I come from a very independent. Oh, I'll just take care of it. Whatever it is, I'll figure it out. So when we were going through this whole process, Shan was traveling, and I think I ordered pizza like 3 days in a row, and I was like, as she came back, I'm like, you know what? I mean, I really need you, but not to like, figure out the bills or bake out the garbage or cook or whatever. I'm like I need you to keep me grounded. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't even imagine. Like I said, Shan keeps me grounded, and that's the simplest way I could put it for whatever it is. Because I can only imagine, like, without you, it's just, she's a really good balance for me. And I don't I couldn't have that with anybody else, especially if I didn't respect them or love them. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. I don't want to get off track, but I've seen several comments from people saying that whether they had a marriage, they had a bad marriage, they had a bad relationship, and they're very scared to trust anybody going forward. And now, again, this is a whole nother topic. So, but
we can talk about that another time. But 100%.
Okay.
No, I'm saying we can talk about it now.
Oh, yeah, no. And I don't want to get on a whole big tangent.
Trust is huge.
It is huge.
I just started trusting Guy. And I don't mean in a trust in a way like I think he's going to do something bad. I mean trusting him with me.
Like that you could be vulnerable.
Yes. Literally started doing that maybe 6 months ago, 15 years in. I am not kidding. I am literally, it took me that long. And I've been out of my first marriage for 25 years. How many years? Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm just going to say, like, so Shannon's going to be that side of the argument. And then the other side is going to be me, where I'm going to say, well, what choice do you have? Right? And again, these are two different viewpoints, but just the way, like, I don't know, like, life is short. And I'm not suggesting that you just go blindly trusting people and throw caution to the wind.
No, been there, done that. Can't do that either.
Right. But I guess all I'm saying is, like, giving you a little, like, come on, let's go. Like you got to, whatever it takes. And I don't profess to have the answer. I just wouldn't let years pass because of fear. And I know what I'm saying is very difficult. And I guess all I'm trying to say is figure out how to do it and do it in a way that is you're still true to yourself. But I wouldn't put yourself in timeout for 5, 10, 15 years.
Which I did.
Right. I mean, listen.
Now, thank God Guy had his issues too.
I still have my issues. What do you mean?
I'm saying we both had issues.
Never
but
be without issues.
He was very patient. Well, almost all the time. He was very patient with my issues. I didn't even know what my issues were. I didn't even think I had issues. Because everything that I've suffered from trauma-wise in my past life, I literally thought I was fine. Like I thought, oh yeah, I dealt with that. I dealt with it in my head. I'm good. And I survived it, but I didn't process it. And when you stay in that survival mode, you push everyone away. And that's what I did. I pushed everyone away because there's a wall in survival mode because you're protecting yourself from feeling that trauma that you felt years ago. So I didn't even realize I was in survival mode. I thought I processed it. I didn't process it. I am processing it all now. It's since a year and a half ago when I had that little bit of a mental breakdown. I went to therapy and I realized I'm processing it all now. And now in processing it all, do I still go into survival mode? Yes, but it's less frequent. I am now so much more open that it scares the living hell out of me. Sometimes I get very scared. I told him he had to go away this week to see his grandma and aunt. His grandma's very sick.
Well, she's 99 years old.
She's going to die soon. And his aunt had pneumonia in the hospital. She got very sick. So he went to go visit them. And this is the first time that he went away that I couldn't sleep, which is weird. And I told him when he came home, I said, I could not sleep without you here. I couldn't sleep. I literally need you. And then when he came home that night, I slept like a baby because he was sleeping next to me. Never did I ever feel that. Now, I'm sure it was always there, but I never allowed myself to feel that need for him, which, again, I'll be real and honest, scares me. Sometimes I feel weak, but it's actually not weakness. It's strength because it's helping our relationship.
Now, on that point, so Veronica Savage, 8 years, I think that's enough time and time out. I just thrown it out there, not to call you out, but you put it out there. And not that this isn't a conversation about my grandmother, but, visiting, and I'm sure you've all been there, but this just further supports, my talking point before of, like, what are you waiting for? whatever it is, whether it's self-improvement, getting in a better place with your spouse, finding a new spouse, maybe your spouse had passed or you were in a bad relationship and you're sitting on the sideline, you have a tough time getting back out there, or maybe you need to do something or work on yourself before you can get back out there. That's real too, right? I guess what I'm saying is, coming from an assisted living facility, seeing my grandmother who was 99 years old and all these other elderly people at the end of their life, I got to tell you, like, what the hell are you waiting for? And it was impactful to me. And I generally celebrate in patience anyway. I don't like to wait, but I think especially when it comes to some things you do need patience for, but when it comes to working on yourself or kind of getting back out there or fixing what you need to do, or at least identify what the problems are or identify what those blockers are, maybe you need to go to therapy. Then go to freaking therapy. What the hell are you waiting for? Whatever it is,
fix yourself
and just get on with it. You can come up with a plan, but put one foot in front of the other. Whether you need professional help, whether you need a friend, whether you need to just look yourself in the mirror, whatever it is, figure it out. Maybe you need to have a hard conversation with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. Then just do it. Because waiting 5, 10, 15, 20 years,
make it worse.
Just going to make it worse. And all you're doing is robbing yourself of potential joy.
Also, let me explain. If we're going to go down that rabbit hole really fast, my first marriage, all the time, it's better to don't be afraid to be alone. And that was my fear. I was literally in my first marriage 11 years. I think it was 11 years. I was in a depression. I was in the worst headspace you can even imagine. I was not the best mom I could be. I was not the best person I could be. It was really bad. So pulling myself out of that, and let me tell you, it was difficult. When I'm telling you, again, I don't want to go into details because just in case other people listen, I really try to keep all of that, everything in a good light. When I'm telling you it is a completely controlling marriage, all I did, I had no job, no college, was not able to go to college. I stayed home. I cooked and cleaned and took care of my kids. That is it. I did have some ministry work I did at our church. I was allowed to go do that once a week. That is it. That was my entire life. I did not know our finances. I knew nothing. So to be able to, I was terrified to leave that marriage. Terrified. I said, what am I going to, I don't know anything. I don't have, the house wasn't in my name. Like I had nothing. When I'm telling you I had nothing, I had nothing. And I pulled myself out of that marriage, the scariest thing I ever did, but I could not stay there any longer. And that first night that I left, it was actually Christmas Eve. I slept in my car on Christmas Eve. I told my parents to take my kids, and I slept in my car by myself in a parking lot on Christmas Eve. I was that distraught. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I couldn't stay there in that anymore. And it was really, really hard road, but it's what I needed to do because that relationship was worse than being alone and being scared. That was worse. And it took me years to build back up. I was alone for many years before I met Guy. I was terrified of everything. I worked my ass off. I had 3 jobs. I was a hostess. I was a dance teacher. And I worked at a lab. I had 3 jobs. I never saw my kids. They came into school themselves. I couldn't afford electricity. I couldn't afford heat. It was horrible, horrible years. But looking back, I needed to do that to get out because if I stayed in that, my life would be never near what it is today. I would have failed at life. I would have failed at life if I stayed there. And now taking myself out of that, making many years to rebuild to where I am today, looking back, and you will look back. When you're in the midst of it, you're like, why did I do this? I left that. It was comfortable. You need to be uncomfortable to grow. And I pulled myself out. Don't be scared of being alone. And look at where I am today. So I hope that gives someone maybe needs to hear that.
Yeah, and I think just adding on to that, and then I do want to move on to like, what do you think? Going back to roles, like, what do you think currently your roles? I want to talk about
Okay.
that. But the only other thing I'm going to say is, there are a lot of people, and I'm just even reading the chat, that have had really bad beats.
Really bad
Right?
marriages, yeah.
Well, maybe it's a bad marriage. Maybe
Just
maybe
a bad life.
maybe your spouse died of cancer.
Yeah.
Maybe you came out of an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I mean, God forbid you lost a child. I don't. There's so many terrible things that I guess you can. I guess what I'm saying is, take your time and grieve those terrible things, whatever that is. But at some point, and hopefully, if you're listening to me, what I'm trying to say, sooner than later, those things can, terrible things, you're not ignoring them, but you still can give yourself permission to move on, right? Because I know a lot of people, and this was just, me talking to some of the elderly people, it's funny, you see like, some people in where I was, they lost their spouse 25 years ago. They just kept themselves, said nothing, and just, keep their head down and just wait for the end. Okay. And I get that. And then you had other people that, they're still full of life, right? That they're obviously, they understand they're near the end. But I think, it's really all in perspective. And like I said, I'm not always like, tulips and rainbows. That's not what I'm trying to say. Because even myself, sometimes I have to give myself a pep talk. But I think what I'm saying is it's okay if those things happen to you and you had those terrible experiences, but also give yourself permission to put them behind you and then move forward.
Move forward, yeah.
Don't let the first 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years of your life, whatever, just drown out the last 40, 50, 60 years. I just think there's more out there than that. And maybe, and not even just for yourself, maybe you could be a positive influence on somebody else. I would like to think that, regardless of my past or Shannon's past, like I'm a positive influence on her or she's a positive influence on me. And we created a son and everybody that, you can do a lot of good in the world, is just what I'm saying, without sounding too hokey.
I just want to go back to way back. This is so random. But I want to answer it because I saw it come up twice. Somebody asked about our weddings. Our weddings prior we had. My wedding, my first husband was a huge Italian wedding, 500 people because we were in a church. So all 500, the church was like a church of 1,000. So 500 people, 500 people came to the wedding. There was no alcohol at the wedding, strict Christians. And only Christian music. No,
sounds fun.
Any kind of secular music. So that was my wedding, and you had a big wedding as well, right?
Yeah, no. So I had a very and this might not hit for a lot of people that aren't familiar with like New York or Long Island, because I think in the Northeast, big weddings, expensive
Rhoda
weddings,
Hamill, I love you. Sorry.
are probably uncommon. But we had a very typical Long Island wedding, 200 people, costs, what a house cost, and a whole big to do, and the limos and the stuff.
And it's so funny because Guy and I are not those people.
Yeah, no,
we are not.
Care.
It's so funny. We were such different people in our first marriages. We say that all the time. Like, if he would have met me in my first marriage, he would probably been like, ew.
Well, to be fair, I would have been 7 years old, so I'd have been like, who is this woman?
I hate you. You're an idiot. I can say it here. You're an asshole.
Oh, oh my goodness.
But we literally were completely different people in our first marriages, because I wasn't who I really am in my first marriage, and he wasn't really who he was in his first marriage. We were not ourselves in our first marriages.
I was basically like just a high schooler, goes into college and then graduates and has a career, but is still like a kid. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's crazy how we evolved into, and that's because of our relationship. Because our relationship is strong and solid, we both evolved into who we really are as a person because of each other. I couldn't be who I am now without him.
Yeah, likewise. I mean,
I couldn't be. I think we both, I know, I'll say it now, and this is very hard for me to say, but I would probably be really messed up if I didn't have him.
I told you. I mean, I would. No, yeah, 100%. But that, that's kind of what you need, right?
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I would. No, I was saying before. No, you keep me grounded. I think, which was something only a recent revelation.
Yes, we had weddings that our parents wanted. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a wedding that the church wanted. That's what you're supposed to do in the church. That's the type of wedding you're supposed to have. I did not want that. I hated my wedding dress. It was the big poofy princess wedding dress you've ever seen. That's not me.
No, it wasn't even camo. No lightning bolts at all. All right, so going forward, what is because it started and we kind of got off track a little bit.
Sorry.
But,
yeah.
Roles and how they kind of morph through the years. What do you think your role is today?
I think my role is today.
You can say roles, responsibilities. Let's just to make it a little.
Well, I don't know if I don't want to say responsibilities because I feel like I don't feel responsible to do anything for you. That responsibilities to me sounds like a job, and it's not a job to be married to you.
Okay.
So, I don't.
No, because okay, so maybe I was kind of leading the witness a bit there.
Yeah.
Because my answer is gonna.
Okay, so
is gonna have responsibility.
I feel like my role right now.
Yeah. What is your role, please?
Is supporter.
Okay.
And it never was. You know what I'm saying?
Supporting of what though?
Supporting you in our relationship. Only because I was so independent in our relationship.
Right.
I'm now trying to be a supporter of us and you in whatever you do throughout the day, throughout your life, everything. I want you to feel 100% support from me where I know you always maybe haven't in the past.
No, and I think that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, like I want Shan to care what I'm doing.
Right.
Right.
And I do
I know that
care.
sounds silly.
I do care what you do, but for me to express it was weakness to me. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
I mean, it doesn't, but it doesn't have to, as long as it makes sense to you. Because again, we're different people, right? So like what I feel and what you feel aren't necessarily the same thing.
How about you?
Think. So for you, I mean, for me rather, I feel like my role where originally, even in our marriage, like I said, using my previous marriage isn't really overly helpful because it wasn't long enough and it wasn't enough like real life there. It was where it was the fixer and just to take care of it or and to be fair, I kind of enjoy being the fixer, I think.
It drives me insane.
No. And that probably has a lot to do with like I was, coming up like being an architect, right? And I still identify that way, even though I'm not actively practicing architecture. Like you're always solving a problem. That's all you're doing. But anyway, so I feel like my role has kind of morphed from that to now, I guess, making sure I'm being a team player by identifying sort of whether it's your personal struggles or strengths and making sure that I'm complementing that so that you can be who you need to be and who you want to be.
You're supposed to do one word.
What? One word? Who the hell said that?
I did. I said supporter.
I didn't have one word. And then I'm going to add another little footnote, whether you like it or not, that I feel like I have a responsibility to, and like I said, this wasn't like whether you want to say it's a job. I don't think it's a job. I just think it's a responsibility to our marriage, not to like, oh, don't stay out late with your friends. Like, that's just not me. It's not my life. I don't want that either. But although I do like a good round of golf, but neither here nor there. I have a responsibility to continue improving myself because just because I'm 45 years old.
You're 45?
Well, not yet, oldie. I'm just saying, smart mouth. No,
You're way too old for me.
Based on when we first met, apparently.
I didn't know you were 45.
um,
It's going to be a problem.
No, so I have responsibility. Like I can never be done, right? I can never be done growing as a person. And the reality is I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? Like the old cranky guy who's just like, mails it in for the next 30 years. I don't want to be that.
So Laura Marie had a very good question. I love that.
Oh,
Are you a
geez.
therapist? She said, do you know what you need from each other?
Do I?
Because this is what we were caught doing. He would give me what he needs, and I would give him what I need.
Right.
And we get caught up in that, and that would cause problems. And we need two different things. We
Yes.
are our love languages are completely different. Completely different. So he didn't realize, he was trying to fix things, and all I needed was understanding. I just needed him to understand me.
Right. But to be very clear, like that is often a tough thing to wrap your hands around, like understanding. And I'm getting better at it.
You are getting so much better.
Right. But earlier on, I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Oh, I just want you to understand.
He's like, what does that mean?
What? Tell me, like, pick up the toilet seat or put the toilet seat down or take this or do that. Like something direct. I can understand that. But
That's just a man.
I know.
No offense. I'm not trying to do
Understanding,
stereotypical man,
but you just did.
but that's
And then for Jen, she'd be like, "Oh well, I cooked dinner or I did the grocery shopping." I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. I can
acts of
DoorDash.
service.
I can
I'm
do-
acts of service.
Yeah, I could do DoorDash. I don't need that. I can go to a restaurant. I'm a grown man. What do you mean? It was like, just care about like. And we use this example. We've brought some before. She come down like, "Oh, how'd you sleep?"
I hate. So that's what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants me to wake up and say, "How did you sleep?"
No, just
So
show
when I came
some
down the
interest
stairs-
in me.
See how we different things.
Shan goes for a workout. I'm like, "Oh, how was your workout?"
I'm like, why are you asking me this? It was fine. And he's like, he always wants to know how I slept. I know how you slept. You were snoring next to me. Why would I ask you?
Okay,
But that's what he
now,
wants.
right? So
And now I've been asking you things. How was your day? Would ask you, how was this?
Yeah.
It kills me to ask
yeah, it's gotta
because
be
I'm
tough.
like, I don't really give a shit. I mean,
Oh, that's amazing. I
give a shit how you slept.
I don't give a shit how your day was. Oh, how's your day? Wow, I'm really gonna put a lot of stock in that now. That is amazing.
Well, you didn't give a shit when I cooked dinner.
But you did Instacart. That's amazing. Thanks. Couldn't have done that on my own.
Anyway, we have learned.
I ordered you eggs. Whoa.
We didn't tell them about our love egg story.
Oh, God.
We have learned. We're back. But now, since we've been on this journey, we have really been, and now he knows, acts of service that's my love language.
And what happened today when you came downstairs?
Oh my God. I came downstairs today after my live. The kitchen is completely clean and there's pancakes made in the refrigerator. My husband does not boil water.
I do boil water.
Okay, that's barely what you do. Barely water. I was like, who made these pancakes? He's like, I did. Excuse me? Who? G, because G asked me for pancakes. I had to go live. I said, G, it was literally, he woke up 10 minutes before my damn live. I'm like, G, I can't make you pancakes. I can make you pancakes after the live. So he's like, okay. So I get up, I come downstairs after the live and he's got pancakes in the refrigerator and the entire kitchen is clean. I almost passed out. I yelled down to G. I'm like, G, Dad made you pancakes? And I said to him, I'm like, how did you figure out how to make pancakes? But he figured it out. Instead of just not doing it, that little thing meant the world to me. He literally made pancakes and cleaned up the kitchen afterwards. I know it seems like nothing.
Well,
but it was the fact that you even tried.
Well, you're missing technically it was the second.
Okay, and G said they were delicious, blah, blah, blah.
No, that's not what he said. He said
they were better than Mom's.
He did say that.
What'd you put in them? Sugar?
Nope. Just love.
Anyway, something like that means a lot to me. So, all right. Are we going to wrap it up?
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed
Oh, really
this.
quick though, before
he has one
no,
last thought.
No, I just want to know the last thing is like something
Okay.
that is just how we're different in our way, and like something that means a lot to me, right?
Yes.
Where maybe it
What
wouldn't.
means a lot to you?
Right. So the other night, I don't remember where the hell I was. I was out doing something. I don't know, I was taking G somewhere or something, and I came home, and we didn't have a live that night, and Shan. So when we're when we go to the Bahamas, we drink this like local rum.
Oh,
it's
yes.
called
I got that for you.
Mount Gay rum.
That meant a lot to you?
Yeah, because it was like,
Aw.
so she ordered, like Instacart or whatever, this same rum that we drink in the Bahamas. And the idea was we were just going to sit down, in our living room, just hang out by the fire and have a glass of rum by the fire. It was cool because it was something that meant a lot to me. Whereas maybe, if I Instacarted her a bottle of alcohol, that probably wouldn't be as impactful.
No.
Right. But no, that was something that I was special, and it was neat. And at the same point, it was us spending time together.
I want to say one more thing also for you guys that know us from our business. I used to go live every single night, and that hurt our marriage.
Yeah,
100% hurt our marriage, which is one of the reasons we did change up our business a little bit.
And us as parents.
It hurt our whole family life. It hurt. I was not able to cook dinner, sit down with the family, nothing. And that was more of me being a people pleaser. I'm like, well, that's what my customers want. That's what my customers want. I did it for year after year after year. And since I do not go live every night anymore. We have other people go live. It has helped our marriage drastically. We are able, for the first time in 9 years, we sit down and watch TV together. We haven't done that in 9 years. I'm not even joking. We sit down and talk. We are able to, so many things. And that's one of the reasons we had to transition our business, because after 9 years, even though we love each other and, we're so in love, when you don't have that time together, you have to make that time together. And I always would say to him, because he would always say to me, Shannon, we don't have time together. All we're doing is lives every single night. And then I'm working all day, doing a live all night. I'm exhausted. And then it's 11 o'clock at night and we go to bed. That was our life every single night. And he would say, I'm telling you, we're pulling apart. We're pulling apart because you're live all the time. And I would be like, well, this is my life. I'm sorry. This is my life. I'm like, it's not pulling us apart. We're madly in love. And he would say, no, it's not just about the love. We're not spending time together. And I would think he's wrong. I did think he's wrong up until now. I don't think he's wrong anymore. And now, since we changed up our business and I'm not live every night and we are spending that time together, our marriage is 100 times better.
Absolutely.
100 times better. So I'm saying all that to say, if you're someone like me, workaholic, and you're afraid to make changes in your life to spend time with your significant other, it is very important to do so. I am a people pleaser, and I literally put my customers, I guess you could say I put my customers before Guy, because I was like, no. If I don't go live, they will be upset. If I don't go live, they'll hate me. And when I finally put that all away and we redid our business to fit into our life, instead of our business fitting into our life fitting into our business, we fit our business into our life. It literally changed us so much. So I wanted to say that it's to have these nights now, even this week, I started watching a show with G, just having time with G. So I'm just saying that because I know there's a lot of you out there like me, people pleasers, workaholics, and that will interfere with your marriage. Don't say, 100%. I thought it didn't. It 100% will. And your marriage is more important than any business, than any person.
I've said this. You've heard me say this before. Look at the greatest entrepreneurs, business moguls in our world, right? The biggest names.
They all got divorced.
They all got divorced. They all have terrible family lives.
And he said that to me. That's what kind of broke it in me. He's like, Shannon, look at all of the CEOs of the biggest business in the world. They all got divorced.
Yes,
exactly. Lip said, workaholic, it's brick that in the wall you built. Workaholic was the wall I built because that was my survival mode. Working. Yep.
Okay. So the last thing I'm going to end off with, guys,
Okay.
is something fun. And I wasn't intending to do this live, so it kind of skews a little bit because now you guys are kind of cheating.
Oh.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away 4 Super Bowl boxes.
And if you're watching this after the Super Bowl, it doesn't work anymore.
That's true. No, 4 Super Bowl box entries on each channel that this is posted. Okay. Now
I don't even know what channel this is posted on.
exactly. Well, you're not entering anyway.
Oh, Lynette, thank you. She said, I can tell a difference in the two of you since you're not live every day. I'm going to cry.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lynette, thank
Thank
you.
you.
That means so much.
But here's the trick. And this is where it gets a little complicated, but I don't like to make anything easy.
No, you don't.
That's right. So, all right. And this is what you're going to do.
I'm scared.
Because
I feel like this is like a scavenger hunt.
kind of is.
Damn
All right. The first 3 people on each channel. Now you can only win once. I'm sorry, the first 4 people on each channel.
Oh, yeah, don't forget to put Kathy down.
Yeah, Kathy and
Gotcha.
somebody else.
Hi.
And who was the other person?
She's going to tell you how
Forgot
you
already.
win now.
Okay, this is what you're going to do.
Kathy and the number 2 person.
Yes, you need 2 things. You need to give me the secret phrase
Jesus, help me. Why are we doing this?
and the timestamp. And the reason I say that is because you have to let me upload it first, and you actually have to watch through to get the exact timestamp
Somebody save
for
me.
when I tell you, and the timestamp is now. Whatever time this is on the final edit, so you're gonna have to go through and watch it, okay? And then you have to tell me in the comments, first 4 people to comment on each channel. If you're watching on Spotify or listening on Spotify, you need to comment the timestamp.
What the freak? We're on Spotify?
So, Spotify, it has to be the timestamp and the Super Bowl snack secret word nachos.
What the fuck?
If you're on YouTube, you have to comment the timestamp
Yeah, Rotaham was super difficult.
and the secret snack word buffalo wings.
What the hell? I can't do.
And then if you're on Apple, you need the timestamp
Jesus, nobody's winning.
and the secret snack word mozzarella sticks. Okay? Very simple. I had to make it a little complicated because we're live and you can't just comment on the actual individual
I
channel
don't
because
even know what you
to
just
say.
said.
Well, then you
I
aren't
would
paying
totally
attention. You're
lose
not going to
this.
win.
I would lose this contest.
Anyway, it's
I wouldn't even try.
It's the first.
I don't know
Can
what
you
the freak
stop
you just said.
yelling? You're going to
Yeah,
need.
Kristen, exactly. I would be lost.
Perfect. I have to make it a little more difficult because you guys we weren't supposed to do this
I'm
live.
so not winning. Me either,
We
Julie.
weren't supposed to do this live. So you have to put the
She's
times.
like, I'm so happy I have an automatic entry.
You have to put
Maria. No, I can't see.
Yes.
That's the
Yes. Palastro.
other one. Palastro.
Yep. So anyway, just to reiterate, you have to go back and find the timestamp when I pointed and send right now. Post the time
Lynette, seriously, get a paper and pen.
and the secret phrase depending on the channel.
This is my husband.
Okay. No, because the point, we weren't supposed to do this live. You were supposed to watch it after the fact that watch the recording, and then you can comment below so we know who watched it. But now I had to add extra difficulty with the timestamp.
So they have to watch the replay?
That way it's fair for everyone, or else we're going to post it, and then the first 3 people, you're going to just jump on it and give the answer.
So it's
They'll be
not
gone.
the actual time. It's the time stamp in the...
You have to give me the actual timestamp.
Not
If
what
it
the
was,
time. You have to go watch the damn replay.
that's the point.
He wants his views.
No, and it has to be fair to everyone else who might download and watch it, or else the contest will be over in 8 seconds.
Good luck, everybody.
So, yeah. So if the actual timestamp to when I pointed on the final recording that is uploaded is, 1 hour, 6 minutes, 32 seconds, that's what you got to write. And the secret phrase.
Do you remember all the secret phrases? Because I don't.
It was nachos, buffalo wings, and
Yeah. Which ones?
and mozzarella sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify was nachos.
Okay.
YouTube was buffalo wings.
Okay.
And Apple was mozzarella sticks.
Okay.
Come on. Okay, and
you're going to go back and look at all these and grab them all.
am I not the keeper of the Super Bowl box
You are the
contest
keeper.
for
You
the
are the
last
keeper.
7 years?
You are the keeper. I want
Okay.
mozzarella sticks now. Are we going to get lots of goodies for tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're
You posted in the
the
comments.
comments under the
Video.
under the video, depending on where you watch it, right? So if you watch it on Spotify, you're going to use the Spotify. You're going to say nachos and give me the timestamp of when I pointed and said
Yeah,
now.
it's the time. Can you explain the timestamp? Because I don't think we're understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, the clock, not what time it is. Like the video's 49 minutes.
Right.
At 47 minutes, he said it. I'm not saying that's what it is.
Right. It might be 1 hour. Yeah, don't give me the actual time of day it is.
Not the time of day.
It's because, and I'm going to chop it up.
You have to wait
right?
till this is posted.
Exactly.
Because he's going to edit it.
Exactly.
So y'all gotta watch it again.
So you don't know what time. I mean, you're gonna scroll to the end. You
Just
guys,
forward.
Those of you that were live are gonna know well enough to go to the end.
This is gonna take you a few hours. Good luck.
It's not gonna take you a few hours. It's gonna take me a few hours to post it. But no, because we have to be fair. We weren't originally supposed to stream live.
Thank you. Rhoda Hammer, the assistant principal, said timestamp is how many minutes into the video.
Thank you very much.
Oh wait, no, you're principal now, not assistant. Didn't you? Right? I said that wrong. I believe she got a promotion. That's because you're a powerful, strong woman.
Just randomly pick people. Well, I still have another like 40 boxes outside of this contest.
We're gonna do other things. Don't worry.
We have so many more boxes to give away.
We
I
have
think
a
we're
lot
giving
of
some away
boxes.
tonight.
We're giving away tonight. We're giving a lot of boxes away
on the
tonight.
app live. Those of you guys.
It will be before the Super Bowl. Yes.
No, and then I always go live and do the drawing and all that.
Yeah, that's right.
Tomorrow.
She got a promotion. She's a principal.
Yes, I knew that.
That's because she's smart and intelligent and strong and confident.
Right. All right, guys. We will see you on the app later. Do us a favor, subscribe, like, download.
Oh, yeah, make sure you
something.
subscribe and like and all those
up.
things.
I don't even know what all the things are, but do
And
those.
then next week, our podcast, are we doing it before we leave?
No, we're doing it with Brian.
No, next week. Oh, we're going to skip a week?
What do you mean? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Maybe, what if we did with Renee?
Oh, yes.
Right?
So we're going to Bahamas next week for Guy's birthday, and my daughter's coming. We should do it with my daughter.
Yeah, we do like business owners, mom, daughter.
Yeah. Would you guys want to hear from my daughter? She's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Janet.
It's supposed to be confusing. If it was easy, then everyone would do it. If it was easy, you guys would have the boxes
You guys
in 3
can't.
seconds.
You can't post anything yet because he's going to edit the video.
Right.
He's got to edit the video.
You don't know when the timestamp is.
So you don't know when the timestamp is until the video's posted.
We have to be fair to all of our friends. And again, you guys are still going to have a leg up. You know it's at the end, and we're even doing this. But we're going to announce it. We're going to probably send out a notification for all those that didn't join us on this particular live, because it wasn't supposed to be live, but that was Shannon's little thing she threw in at the end.
Well, because you effed up yesterday. Yesterday was messed up. Although this one was much better.
Yeah. How do you guys like the sideways versus the vertical? Is that? I think it's going to make more of a difference on the actual.
It took him a half hour to do this, by the way.
Yeah.
This took a half hour.
Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, took a half hour.
I had to change everything. These cameras have been set
and
up
now
like this for 2
we
years.
have to switch it the other way for the Monday live. It's going to take another half hour.
No, it'll be quicker to go back. All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
Have a wonderful night.
Yes.
I'm glad you enjoyed. We'll see you next week. Probably Friday next week.
Yes.
Probably
we're
Friday.
We're leaving Thursday, so Friday.
We'll do Friday. We'll grab Renee and we'll do a podcast for Renee on Friday.
All right. We need a sign out so that I can cut and edit.
What is our sign out? What was our sign out last time?
I don't know.
Deep end, yeah. The deep end.
Thank you for joining us on the deep end. Hope you got your swimmies on. No diving. Thanks. Love you. Good night.